Hello, 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 hello. It's Wednesday. I had told the previous diary that I'll talk about my weight out, you know, in detail. Um for people who grew up in my era, they would completely understand. If you didn't, it's probably going over your head a little bit, but I really don't think much has changed. I think much it got worse, to be exact. If I be honest with you, I do believe things have progressively gotten worse when it comes to young girls. Look at the shit they kidnapping them, all kind of shit they doing today. But when I was a young girl, I had an incident. No, no, okay. So when I was a young girl, like 4, I was raped at 4 years old. And what people don't know about raping a child is that you send their body into an osmosis, right? You tell their body that they're an adult when they're not. So their body loses the chemistry and start doing other things like adult things, right? I'll give you an example. When kids are small, you can hug them, love them, squeeze them. That's going to feel like love and embrace to them. For a child who who has their chemistry interrupted, that's not going to feel like, oh, either that child will feel attraction or that child will just, don't touch me. That was me. Don't touch me. Didn't like being touched, don't like being touched. Still today. And I'm in the year of 50. I've always had this creepster kind of thing with men. Naturally, because something happened to me as a child. And then as you grow up, you see it happen to more and more girls. And you see how it's happening. And then you're able to pinpoint it, especially when you're a teenager. You can pinpoint when something is happening to a girl because you know what the look is, you know what the confusion is about, you know what those things because they happen in you. And so I said all that to say, by the time I was 8, my body was forming. And it was forming. By the time I was 9, I had a cycle. When I was 8, my body was preparing for the cycle. I remember that. And then by the time I was 9, I got my cycle. And just imagine how confusing that is for a 9-year-old to be bleeding. For her body, I've had problems with my body ever since that happened to me. I've had extreme problems with my body. So I will pack on weight, let it go, pack on weight, because I was traumatized. Because I didn't say I was molested, I said I was raped. That is 2 different things. Okay? At 4. And so when you're entered at 4, your body starts doing some really, really, really crazy things that nobody talks about, nobody tell you about. I had to find out when I went to school for psychiatry. That's when I started studying everything that I felt, everything, and I realized it was traumatic. It was traumatizing. So needless to say, by the time I was 12, my body was bodying. And it was bodying. And of course, I know that I'm 12. In a 12-year-old's brain, you think everybody else know that you're 12 because you act goofy. You're a 12-year-old. But nope, didn't stop men. Didn't stop them at all. Didn't give a shit. All they see, she was pretty, she was fine, and I want her. So I could not escape that. I couldn't escape it. I felt so unsafe. I felt nervous all the time. So as a child would do, you'll come up with your own quick fix. So what did I do? Gain weight. That was the start of me hiding behind my weight. My family would say, "Oh no, girl, get that weight off you." Soon as I get the weight off, boom, here it comes. Like a truck, the men will not stop. And I'm like, oh God. I picked the weight back up for safety reasons. You have less attention. Men gonna still talk to you, but you have less attention when you're a bigger girl than a smaller, curvier girl. Because you don't know how to deal with that. You don't know what to do with that. And men are hella aggressive. Like hella aggressive. Aggressive to the point where you just don't feel safe. So for my whole lifetime, I have hidden behind weight. Because weight was my safe place. It didn't stop no show. I was the first one married. Had boyfriends. Boys liking me. But it just always made me nervous. Because there was always some bullshit in there. And in middle school, I had I became friends with a guy I was dating, his best friend. So I kind of stole his friend. And he was my best friend for 36 years. And so he would jump in to protect me. And then he started catching hell by the older boys. Being told to stay away from me, and I had to really cut up and let them know, that's my friend. And you touch him, the mist of y'all know that live in here gonna come out. Don't touch my friend. Don't do that. And I would tell them to their face in front of their friend, don't touch my friend. Y'all touch my friend, I'm gonna cut up. Because it started happening more and more. And I was scared for him. Because he wasn't aggressive. He ain't that kind of guy. But things kept happening. And I had a friend named Gabriel, and something really happened to him. Because he would hang around me all the time. And I just couldn't see another friend go through that. All behind looks now. This is all behind what I look like. So, of course, I never admitted this, but I have a hint of body dysmorphia. Real bad. I do have that. It's just what we do to cope with trauma. And the more I would talk to girls in my neighborhood, they all had the same story of being victimized and brutalized by people that's supposed to love them, And I was like, shit, this is a thing, And what women don't talk about is it don't stop. It's like you have something tattooed on your forehead says, come here. And for a long time, I used to think that I was cursed. And I told my mom, I said, Mom, I think I'm cursed. And she was like, why? And I was like, because of this. And she was like, no, you're not. She says, it's just people in the world makes you that way because they are perverted. And that's what she told me. She also told me no matter what you have on, they still gonna be able to see you. You can be a trash bag, because I started dressing like a boy, and my family became concerned. So not only was I packing on weight, but I was also dressing like a dude, talking like a dude, acting like a dude, like a straight dude. And I was in my whole tomboy era, and I felt safe there, and I felt comfortable there. But in true unawareness, I didn't know how that was really affecting my self-esteem and affecting my self-worth and affecting a lot of things that has to do with self. I remember a time when I was young, I didn't like looking at me in the mirror. I did not look at me in the mirror. That's just how bad it was. Then I gained weight again when I was married. We was trying to have a baby. And they put me on these in vitro shots that in 6 months I gained 100 pounds. I was sick as a dog, felt like I was clinging to life just to have a baby. And back then I was being swished from one place to go to this doctor, go to that doctor, go to see this doctor, go see that doctor. And back in the day, doctors had a network of doctors. They would send you to their friend would send you to their friend would send you to their friend. They had like a network going on. You could tell they knew these people. And so they knew more than just their work. They had a network of doctors. So that's what happened to me. It got me swept in this whole doctor's thing because, 90 pounds in 6 months, that's a lot. My skin was discolored. I was miserable. I was depressed. I was a lot of things just to produce a baby. So when I made up in my mind that I was going to stop all of that, I was going to stop all of it, I also left my husband because I wasn't going through any more of that. And he didn't care that my mental health was slowly fading and my health was slowly fading. He didn't care about any of that. He just wanted a baby. And I was like, this is killing me. So, needless to say, we separated and then we divorced. After we separated and I got myself together, I lost the weight. And just like perfect timing, boom, here it comes. Now, I am panicking. I am single. I'm fine, but my self-esteem is in the toilet because of everything I just went through in a marriage. So my self-esteem is in the toilet. People keep telling me how fine, how pretty, how this, how that. It was all too much. So I started drinking. And I drank and drank and drank and drank. For me to go out to a club, it's like I had to drink. I couldn't be around that many people that want to touch and talk because I am introverted. I'm a natural introvert. I ain't turned that way. I'm a natural introvert. I have extroverted tendencies. I can be extroverted at work because I know it's a limited time for that. I can be extroverted with the people that I love. You know what I'm saying? The people that I'm comfortable with, I can be extroverted. But for the most part, I'm an introvert. So put introverted on alongside men just want to date you. And you be like, I don't know about that. I was married, so I didn't know how to date. I didn't have a vetting process. I'm just trying to get to know people. Being nice to people, kind to people, having to learn through trial and error. So for 7 years of my life, I went out. I was out. I always thank God today that I did do that. Because I can't imagine me doing that at 50. Being in a club. Do you know how sleepy I am? And how tired I'm going to be the next day? Oh, no, honey. And the one thing, I never wanted my kid to feel like he have a club mama. Oh, no. Nope. You do not have a club mama, sir. So it's a way I like my children to view me, and I live like that. That's why I don't really have problems with my children. You know why? Because what I modeled in front of them was class and integrity. Not gutter butt trash, slut, promiscuity, self-hate. I did not promote that in front of my children at all. If I was going to dress like a slut, you best believe I was going to put them clothes in my car and get dressed on my friend's house, and then we go out. And then I put them clothes right back on and go walk in my house. Okay, I wasn't doing that. But, so I kept the weight off while I'm clubbing. All right, clubbing, keeping the weight off. But eating and drinking more than I should. Okay. The wheels started turning in my life. I stopped going out. And I started staying in the house. Plus, I started dating a pastor. And mind you, by this time, this is like the fourth. I don't know what it is in women that is broken and damaged that pastors want to be with. I never, and they wanted to marry me. I had to ask one, do you believe in God for real? Because I'm like, what? I know goddamn well God didn't tell you need to marry me. I had no plans on sitting my ass down. None. I would go to church. I would go to Bible study. I would go everywhere as far as religion is concerned. Oh, but I'm going out. And I'm going to get drunk. And I'm going to look sober going to my car, but be about to puke and pass out. Okay? So, for years doing that, when God started slowing my life down, I stopped going as much because God was preparing me for Daniel. And so I stopped going as much. Still broken though. Still broken inside. Having relationships with people. They're not panning out because I've been married before. And I think at the time people could smell the wife on me. I mean, smell it. And if I be honest, I don't think men marry women that they truly love. I don't. I think men marry anything. So I don't value marriage like other people do. Because if you can get married and still live single, then your whole premise for getting married is null and void. It's null. I never forget, I was in the club. And a man commenced to stand by me, talk to me, buy me drinks. And then he got to talking about his wife. And then he got to talking about some issues that she was having. And baby, that offended me. If I tell you I was offended. And it took all I had to just stand there. And at the time I was like, so you mean to tell me you gonna tell a stranger everything about the woman you lay with? What if one day you figure out that I know her, and the things I know about her I shouldn't know? How would you think she would feel? So I started asking him questions, and he got looking at me. I said, "Don't do that. Don't pillow talk her shortcomings to other people. That's not cool." And the first thing he said, "You been married before?" I said, "Yes." He says, "Yeah, because it wouldn't matter to no other woman besides women that's been married before. We know what it feels like. Because if you had an ain't shit husband, he pillow talks your inadequacies to the side woman. Yes, he has. And they'll tell you as much when mad day come. But what people got to know about me, you can't use a goddamn thing against me. I turn it back and toss it in your face like a boomerang. And you'll be embarrassed. Because, baby, the gift of gab was given when I was a kid, okay? The gift of quick wit on your ass, ranking, pop. Oh, baby, you could not rank me. Baby, you could not rank me. Baby, and then I will rank on your ass with the truth. I never forget my teacher was like, Mick Williams, God damn it. Boy, she cussed me out. She cussed me out in that principal's office. Her name is Randall. But she was one of the best teachers I ever had, but she cussed me out. She did. She says, now you know you're wrong. She says, and I done dealt with your mouth all year. But today I done had a goddamn enough. I had a goddamn enough of your mouth. Why are you able to talk like that? Because I be around old people. All my cousins were older than me. I'm in a class with my cousin's children. So I'm the last of the Mohicans of all these older women and men. And there's me. And then after me, it's their children. There's nobody else. So hanging around a bunch of grown people all the time, having to be with them, they can't go nowhere unless they take Misty. So I'm a little older thinking than I should be. On top of, I've been through some trauma already. So I'm very cautious. And when I say don't do something, that's what I mean. And if you do it on your ass, I'm going to be. I will beat you with a bat. I will cut you with a knife. I'll beat you with brick. I'll throw bricks at your house. Because I was already angry in here. The anger was already in here. And all it took was a little 1-2 to get it on out of here. And baby, it cut up. Girl could cut up, okay? So having to go through that like that, it was a lot of broken pieces inside of me. And I'm just carrying them around. Life is steady happening. Things are steady happening. I'm carrying them around. 2014 come. Not lies, 2013. And I found out my friend was dying of cancer. My childhood friend. The friend I could run to. The friend that would save me from the older boys. And I'd be like, get on. And she'd be like, get your ass away from her. Get away from her. And she became my best because she would not let you can't touch me. You can't talk to me. She'd be on your ass. And she had like 15 brothers and sisters. Like she come from this real big family. But you couldn't blame me. She wouldn't let you. So she got sick with cancer. And I found out. And I went to her. And it was me and her for every doctor's appointment. Everything. I'm right there. I'm taking her. I'm understanding. I'm having to translate how they talk, what they mean. I even had to put her in hospice. And some things that was done to her. Oh my God. She was dating a man. And I believe he exposed her to something. I really do. Because when I talked to the doctor, she wasn't testing positive for AIDS, but she was building up antibodies and all that stuff. And that's kind of an AIDS-related cancer, basically. And then he thought he was just going to walk away from her. Like she was nothing. Baby. Nah, her sister tried to tell her. That was like she done found her best friend. Boy, her best friend could be a motherfucker. Because her sisters and brothers know me. Okay? I called that man on the phone. I told that man how I felt about what he doing. And tomorrow, you're going to have your ass at that hospice place. She's not eating. She's sad. You're going to be there. Because if you don't, I'm going to go knock on 237 Gessner. I'm going to knock on that door. And I'm going to drag your motherfucking ass out of there. And then I'm going to drag you by your fucking head to the hospice. So you can do it easy or you can do it hard. But I know you done heard about me. And the fool will be cut. Shit. But that next day, when I pulled up, his truck was already there. I went out and said, you hold on. Come on. You hold on. Stay right here. So I went in there and I told her, I said, hey, girl. I said, somebody here to see you. I said, I got a lotion your, because she was dry because she couldn't really swallow. And so I put some lip gloss on her and lotioned her up and stuff. And I said, is that okay if I let him see you? And she was like, So when he walked through the door, she lit up like a Christmas tree. She drunk broth, which she wouldn't. She laughed. She would write things on the board. You know, they would have conversation back and forth. Watch TV. And he did that till she died. And what that taught me is important for who you have in your life. You can't have bullshit people in your life. Anything can happen to you, and they'll leave you by the wayside. You know what I'm saying? I just felt like I had to go through that with her so that I don't know where not to go wrong in my life. And losing her, it was a blow for me. Oh, God, it was a blow for me. And ironically, I was at a sorority brunch that 1/1/2014. I went up there to the hospital and I told her I'm gonna go to a brunch and then I'm coming back. So everybody was like asking me how she's doing and stuff like that. I was like, she's here. She's here. And she died that day. And everybody at the hospice was so used to me. The nurse called me on the phone. And she told me, and I had on a black cardigan with blue sleeves. Now I step outside, take the phone call. She told me she died. And I told her thank you. So I started calling everybody, telling them that she had passed away. And you can go up to the hospice, place to see her before they take her. And I'm gonna try to be there as well. And I walked back into the brunch. And with the look on my face, I was like, she passed on. So and I was just so in shock. And so my cousin was there too. And so he was like, they kept doing this to him. I kept seeing him doing it to his leg. And he was like, okay. So then he's like, cousin, come here. And I said, okay. So he take me in the bathroom. And he says, I want to show you something, but I don't want to spook you. I want to show you something, but I don't want to spook you. And when he turned me to the side, it was a handprint right here and a handprint right here. Like chalk on my shirt. Like a hug. And boy, there I was in the bathroom floor, boo-hooing. I boo-hooed so long, he boo-hooed. Everybody was boo-hooing and crying because it was something that we never saw before. Like, you wouldn't think that somebody would come and say goodbye. She did. She came and said goodbye to me. And I kept that sweater for like 13 years until the handprints faded. As long as I could see them, I would never get rid of it. That taught me a lesson, how valuable it is to have people that mean something. And not only do you supposed to have people that mean something, but you got to mean something to you. And so I said all that to say, I promised myself that I promised myself by the time I'm 50, I'm going to have this shit on lock. And I would always tell her, say, Vonna, girl, I'm going to have this shit on lock. I'm going to have it on lock. I'm going to have it on lock. I'm going to do it. I'm going to have it on lock. I'm going to have it on lock. Girl, I'm getting it together. I'm getting it together. And now that I told this story, and when I look back on every step that I made since then, I made it to not welcome people in my life that didn't have my highest good, And I had to learn how to let people go because I was possessive. I would hold on to people, hold on to them for dear life. And even when my brother died, he was like, you gotta stop doing that. He's like, you gotta stop doing that, mister. You gotta stop holding on to people for dear life. Learn to let people go. I didn't know what that meant. I had to learn how to let people go. But I learned over the years, I would walk away from things and be like, why did you do that? Misty, why did you do that? Walk clean out of people's life. Now that I look back at it, reason. But I wore all of that around my waist, on my arms, on my legs. I wore all that, and I've decided I'm not going to wear my pain mask as weight. What I'll do is I'll sit in my pain. I'll get better, think better, vibrate higher, change frequencies, and watch my life change. And that's exactly what's been happening. Exactly what's been happening. Religion couldn't fix it. Nobody couldn't fix it. Food, alcohol, men, party, none of that could fix. I had to sit in it. And as long as I ran from it, it got bigger and bigger, and so did I. I got up to 280. Yeah, I got up to 280. Almost 300 pounds. I was like, hell no, girl. Get that shit out of you. But I told myself, you didn't gain it overnight, and you're not going to lose it overnight. And you're going to lose it in a way to where it won't come back. Because you won't replicate this behavior again. So, that's my current journey. That's the story behind my weight. I use it to protect me from weird people. Like, people weird as fuck. Like, ugh. But at this point in my life, me losing the weight, if that action does come again, where men get the, because I already see it. It's already happening. Like today, I took my dad to the store. This man, that's your man? No, that's my daddy. Huh? That's my daddy. That's your dad? Yeah, that's my dad. Are you married? No. Do you want to be? No. Oh, okay. Well, you have a good day. Thank you. I'm like, do you ask somebody that? Like, so weird. People weird. But I said I wasn't going to go back in my cocoon. I wasn't going to gain weight to try to shield me or make me feel protected. I protect myself. And a simple no is all it takes. No. Do you want to bother? No. If something's not pleasing to me, I don't do that. I'm not with that. Well, let me go then. All right, then. I'm finna go. Ain't got time. And I ain't got time to fight and fuss with nobody. When you become comfortable with yourself, a lot of things are internal, not external. And when your internal get to working like it's supposed to, everything externally don't stand a chance. So I hope that somebody sees this, and I hope it helps somebody in any way possible. But this is just my story, so namaste.